Hello everybody, and welcome to Painting with a Grumpy Old Man. Good to see you. I'm glad everybody is back. Let me just log you guys all in. Alright, today we're going to be painting a new painting. I had a bunch of leftover paint. I tried to cover it with plastic. I don't know if it'll work. We will find out. But we're going to do a nice Impressionist painting today. And see what we come up with. Sort of a farmer's field. Who we got on there today? Wow. Tomsky, hello. Hey, welcome back, Chris. Good to see you again. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having a great day. It's a sunny day here. I had a great day. We went out we had a field trip at school with our kids, which was like super duper cool. They went to a place we call Factory Shoals, which is a beautiful, cleanest river in Georgia, actually. We had a super clean river day, and we just, I'm putting in some fields right here. This will get a whole lot different as it goes on. I'm just getting color in here right now. But I'm attempting this. I've never painted like a real farm field before. I'm going to give her a try today and see what we can do. But Factory Shoals is beautiful. It's just, we were there on a horticulture project trying to, they're building terrariums, so they had to get local flora and fauna for their terrariums. And it was fun. I fell down. My butt is all covered in mud now. It's okay. But it was a great day. Gave the kids something to laugh about. You know, grumpy old man, Mr. Tarver falls down. That's awesome for them. I am very happy to be with you guys today. And like I said, this paint is quite old. It's probably about 3 days old. I've been out of the studio for a while. So I might have to add in some more colors and stuff here. I don't mind. I'm just trying to make these rows are smaller in the back, and I'm bringing them up forward. And a lot of the stuff will be gone over again. To make it come out like I want, maybe. But it was a fun day, man. It was beautiful. I took a bunch of pictures, so you guys can look forward to seeing some of those scenes being painted. It was just absolutely phenomenal. The rocks and the waters and the trees and the mosses, and it was just gorgeous. And this is a burnt sienna that I'm putting on here, right here. And this doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, it's going to be a farmer's field. Coming up this way, almost parallel at the very end here for this row. And when I come back in, I'll put other rows in. But you can see I lined the board off here because I wanted it to be somewhat lined up. And as you know, I'm an old diabetic, so I have shaky hands. And shaky hands do not make for perfection and straightness, but that's okay. Since I paint basically almost primarily in the Impressionist style, I'm just trying to make an impression of what some of the farm fields around here in Georgia look like. But if you've been out in California or anywhere else, farm fields pretty much look the same everywhere you go. It's basically rows and rows of tilled up land with stuff put on them. And I'm not trying to be overly perfect on these. So I didn't like the way that one lined up, so I'm going to come in with that. So basically these are the high rows. Now what I thought might work is, again, I'm just I'm just trying to do something I've never done, which makes it always fun and interesting. How will it turn out? Nobody knows. But I figure if I just darken it a little bit, maybe darken a little bit more than that. It wasn't quite dark enough. I want these rows in between to be darker. That is still not dark enough. Just go straight dark. Let's clean all this old paint out. That's definitely darker. I think I want to rinse this brush out here and go with perhaps a different brush. This is a very old brush that was extremely stiff. See if it works. Okay, so it's just an old flat brush. Very dark rows in between, and the reason they're dark, they're still dirt, but they're lower. This dirt's lower than the other dirt, so don't want it lighter. You want it to look like one is higher than the other, but we still want it to look like it's the dirt of the field. So I'm here, and I'm not trying to make it smooth either. I want it to be kind of rough. Okay, right here I'm going to need a whole lot more dark. I'm using a burnt umber, which is a fancy way of saying dark brown, to do this. This is burnt umber. And you can see on your screen that this is somewhat darker. One's burnt sienna, which is more of a reddish, orangish brown. And this is almost just a very brown, dark brown chocolate. It's like a Hershey bar. Okay. And I'm just going to put these on here. And this will get lightened up because it's going to have greenery on it later on. And you see a lot of times I will, you know what, I'm going to flip this over because I want to paint the bottom here. I don't want to miss it. And sometimes you can miss the bottom because it gets in that little crack there. Let's put a little more paint. Really make this kind of look very thick and dark here. And don't worry, I will honestly make this look a little bit lighter, but not yet. Just trying to get sort of an idea of how my farm field is going to look. But it's going to be fun. But we went down there, man. It was fun. I slipped and fell in a wet hole. The students tried to help me. Lost cause. Okay. That's about as dark and good as we're going to get that. Okay. Now on this one today, normally you guys know that I like a big sky. But today I'm not going to go with the big sky. Today I'm going with the big field, the big farmer's field. And sometimes you just turn it upside down and paint it. Well, today I did that. But I'm going to come back a little bit later with a whole bunch of other stuff. And I was thinking about maybe adding some like little dark windmills in the back. But I want to put my sky in first. Bluish. But I don't want as dark a sky as I normally have. I want a kind of lighter sky out here, and this is a very light blue. I'm just tapping in stuff, and I will come back. You know my method: dots and dashes, dots and dashes, dots and dashes. So get as many dots and dashes as I can. And I think I'm going to have sort of a sunrise field this morning, and it should be quite beautiful. We don't have that many windmills in Georgia, okay? Just to let you know. I'm taking a little poetic license with this one. And I'm changing the colors up. The variations in the color on my thing here are so subtle you probably can't tell the difference. But I wanted something different today. Trying this out. But yeah, we don't have windmills in Georgia, but you know, I'm a big Vincent van Gogh fan. So a windmill here and there never hurt anybody. That's all I'm saying. So, I need to take this with my crimper. But right now I'm kind of busy. Okay. I'm going to come back and put some little dashes. And I wanted the strokes to be slightly variegated, meaning I want them to have different things. And if you've seen a lot of my work, you'll know that I really like active, moving skies. But there are different ways that you can do it. If you can make flat places in your painting, it's really cool. Oh, we got some more folks with us today. Addison's back with me. How you doing, Addison? I see you said hey to me, so I know that much is working. Hey, wasn't it fun today, Addison? Wasn't that a fun field trip today? Sure was for me. And I love every bit of the time I get to spend with them kids, little rotten brats. But as I was pondering the beauties of nature and the universe, I fell down, and when I fell down, I started to think about things, you know, like I'm 60 years old now, and so I'm not, I'm not the athlete I used to be. Oh, especially when I fell, she says. Oh, thank you, Addison. I'm glad I could amuse you. I'm glad I could amuse you, child. I love that kid. All right, so, you know, so I fell down and I started thinking of all the stupid things that adults have always told us. And I know I shouldn't say that because I got my students on here. But man, adults say stupid stuff. Let's just face it. Be honest with ourselves. You know? And I would love to be inspirational here, but that's kind of weird. I mean, think about what we tell our kids. If you believe it, you can achieve it. Really? Do you believe you've won the lottery? I mean, think about it. Why are we telling our kids that they can achieve it? Maybe they can't achieve it. Do you tell a little short guy? Absolutely, guy, I'm sure you're going to be in the NBA. I mean, that's just, I mean, if he's a good basketball player, but usually, let's face it, the people who say things like that are small and uncoordinated and stuff. And not everybody's a genius. Not everybody's going to be a lawyer or the president. You know what? I can't really say that. I look at all the presidents that we've had in the last 20 or 30 years. Then I guess just about anybody can be president. A philanthrope and a head of lettuce, which is what we have now. So maybe there aren't any limitations on president. But everything else requires a little bit of something to make it happen. If you believe it, you can achieve it. No. If you work hard at something, you can get successful at it. Just because believing it's not going to do anything. You can't Google life, people. It's just ridiculous to think that. Well, just silly things. Like another favorite of mine. If at first you don't succeed, try again. What if you tried to fly? I think you only get one chance at that. I don't think you get to go back again and say, well, I plummeted to my death last time, let's try again. You can't always try again. I mean, it's good. I'm not trying to tell you people not to try. You should try. You should work hard in life. You should always strive to be the best that you can be. But let's be perfectly honest. There's some things you shouldn't try more than once. I know driving through Atlanta is one of them. Maybe you should just be satisfied with driving through the small towns. That's what my wife told me anyway. She doesn't let me drive anymore. She says she gets road rage when I drive, but not for the other drivers, just me. I'm the one giving her road rage. I'm like, but hon, we're on the same team. But apparently not when it comes to driving in Atlanta. I give her road rage. That's a good marriage, people, when your wife can tell you things like that. You give me a road rage. You get road rage? Yes, with you. You just cut that guy off. I didn't even see him. It's okay. You know? Is it my fault if I didn't see him? That's my kid's philosophy at school. Absolutely. If you don't see somebody, not your fault. Sure, you ran that poor person over, but you didn't see him, so I guess that's okay. Making a very pretty sky. I love pretty skies. I'm getting ready to paint some paintings for Addison's sister or somebody. Who am I painting for, Addison? I'm painting for your sister. Which one of your multiple people relations am I painting the cow painting for? You know what I need? Magnifying glasses or binoculars. I can't see anything. I moved the camera closer today because I wanted to be able to see it. Let's move to the left a little bit. That way you can actually see it too. Maybe. I don't know. But yes. Try again, people. I'm sure it's going to work out the next time. What's the definition of insanity? Keep trying over something that doesn't work and believing that it's going to have a different result. That's insanity. Yeah. Okay. Now you know. I believe that 95% of the people in this world are pretty stupid, most of us, and the other 5% are just ignorant of the fact that we're kind of stupid. Because we say and do things that are just ridiculous. Let's be honest. We say and do all kinds of knuckleheaded things. And it's just not gonna, it's not reality. This thing is really bumpy lumpy. I like it. I'm just putting colors wherever I want to. I don't even care. I've come to a point now where I don't even care what color I'm putting on there. So this is fun till the day takes the bird away. What other stupid things do we say? We say all kinds of dumb things. You know? Early bird gets the worm. The meaning of the thing obvious being that the first one there is going to get the advantage. I don't think that's necessarily true. Being there first means you may be the first failure. Right? Maybe the first person to find out that, hey, that's a dangerous situation you probably shouldn't go into. Now, this is drying up just a little bit. I'm going to go and do my magical blending brush. But I'm going to get it really dry today. Squeeze this thing out. Go. Yes, Addison thinks it's funny that I fell. That's so fun. Look, he's gonna need a new hip. Thanks, Addison. Appreciate you, baby. Okay. Big brush. I'm just gonna come outward lightly. I'm gonna lighten this guy up, man. Gives us sort of a hazy feel a little bit. But I'm not going too deep. I want the separations in colors to stay. If you do it too hard, you'll lose that separation in color, and it doesn't look as good. Okay, that's kind of a neat looking sky. Alrighty there. Nothing too fancy, nothing too particular. I think I'm going to come way out in the faraway land with, well, let's go with the blue here. Can't really tell, maybe I go with a little bit darker color. good. I'm gonna kind of, this is gonna be perfect. It doesn't look right, but who cares? And I'm gonna get some black. Don't use black. Real artists don't use black. Well, this real artist uses black, so deal with it. Apparently this lid doesn't screw off. And I'm not trying to make these windmills super known. Just want them to be way off in the distance, little windmill. Maybe we'll add a couple more times here. Little windmill out there. Maybe I'll have a windmill over here. This one's a little bit closer. It's still pretty far away. I'm going to give this one a little bit of browny look. A little bit of lighter color in that. But the windmills aren't. I'm going to make this one bigger. I don't even like the way that came out. Okay, there we go. I don't care too much about them. Just I'm not talking because I'm having a hard time figuring this out. That's why we call it an experiment. That's good enough. Door here. Oh, that's ugly. Okay, there we go. Alrighty then. Use my handy dandy thing to wipe this off. And I'm going to put fields in. And then for this, I'm going to use a little brush here. I'm going to mix some yellows with some blues. I want more light green. Just how I can put some fields in here. And I'm leaving the in-between rows dark, okay? Because this is a farmer's field and you don't grow things in between the rows. As you can see, it nice little experimenting. So, I don't know, I hope that looks like something. I hope that looks like a farmer's field. And come down more straight on, face on here, because you know it's coming down toward us right here. We get the big stuff. Got a little more blue in there. Get rid of this. You use the end of your brush for anything you want. Okay, there we go. And then, of course, I use the corner of my brush a lot, and that's okay, because you don't have to use the whole brush all the time. I'm just trying to make these nice little farmer's fields here. These are coming really straight at you, so get a little lighter there. Maybe tap some lighter yellows out in the far away, because the yellows tend to be out there. You don't like it, you can my little finger and clean up the row a little bit. There you go. You people don't know me. All right. You can add different colors in here. You can add, flip in some yellows. I like the yellow ochres. They give you a really kind of cool look. Come out on top of this one. And then come in here and scrape down. Keep these things looking kind of. That's cool looking. Okay. On down here. Get a nice. Things overgrown a little bit. Don't want to be too perfect with it. Improve this word. I'm trying to fill them in and make them sort of look the rounded color. That's why I'm using this particular brush here, because I can round them filled over a little bit in the rows that kind of roll over the edges. And this is a nice little sunrise. There's going to be some people out here in a minute, and now this stuff is going to be too dark, and I might come out and hit the windmill blades a little bit with some light, you know, like that. Maybe even a little bit lighter. The sunshine's hitting it in the morning. Okay. Don't really care much about the windmills. I don't want to really see them. But pull over some blues. I'm going to come in here like this. Clean up the middle row. Don't let that middle row get too covered. As we come on down here. Right on the row. This is very thick right here, and I like it that way. And I'm leaving these at an angle like this, because nothing grows normal. I really want a lot more yellow on that edge out here. Okay. And I'm just making a nice little farmer's field. Right here. Leaving the dark rows of grass in between it, and you can do some different stuff. If you want to, you could actually come here like this and put in some grasses up at the top. Gives it sort of a nice farmer's field look. I want this to bling a little bit more, so I'm going to actually bring out some more of the dark yellows. I want these ones in the middle to be the blingiest of the blingers. I'm going to actually have a little yellow, maybe. Come on, work for me. Getting low on my yellows. But I want these ones right in the middle to be the brightest rows on the painting, because that's where the light source is coming from. Alright. I think we're good enough there. Nice little farmer's fields. And maybe out here, maybe out here there's some trees by the windmill. Not wanting it to be too perfect. Come right through this windmill. Okay. Let's go right on up the painting there. think that's beautiful. Now I want a little more light in my sky up here. I'm actually gonna take this really thick, heavy brush and just brush on some light right there, okay? And I'm not even gonna try to smooth it out, just leave that thing like that. Come around like this, just give it a little bit of bling in the middle. Okay, so now it's the hard part, the very, very hard part. I'm gonna come out here and put a little head, a little body, a little head up here, out there working in the field. Maybe a little head out here, little body. Oops, gotta be careful, thick white paint here. Out here working in the field. I don't want these to be too bright. I mean, I want them kind of dark. I'll come back and tap in some few colors here. Here, I'm going to come up with it. Now, these colors are not going to be the only colors here. I'm just going to little person kneel down, picking. Working in the rows. Farm work ain't no joke, folks. Farm work ain't no joke. Another person here, kneel down, picking in the field. Okay. And so, come back in here with some human colors. Yeah. Get too much stuff on your paintbrush, it won't work. So, okay. Yeah, that's the color I'm looking for. I'm just gonna dab, man. Just dab. And maybe I get a little bit of red on this guy. Little face. And I'm having trouble with these colors. Maybe if I thin it down a little bit. There we go. A little sunshine on the face out here. And that black is very thick because I'm trying to not make it too light. Pink it up just a little bit. That's better. Out here, working in the fields. Ooh, that was a mistake. No, Bob Ross, it was not a happy accident. It was a terrible accident. I hated it. Working. I'm having trouble with my workers. They're not looking good. I think maybe I'm going to go a little bit bigger here. I'm just not getting the control with that little brush. So let's go with a larger head. Hands out here, bring the body down here like this. Working in the field out here. Yeah, you get a hoe on here. I say, when artists tell you that they don't make mistakes, you're gonna have to call bull. Because people make mistakes. And artists are people, so. I am having the devil of the time, people. Make them look more human-y. Make the head a little bit. And maybe here, we got a hoe coming out. There we go. Person way back there. And there. I'm going to pull out some magenta here and give myself an orange. But I'm going to go back. This brush is too big. Where's the one in the middle, people? The one in the middle. Now this is just Impressionism. So I'm not trying to make these people look like people, just like the shapes of people. Give them a touch of color for the face. There we go. And this guy gets a hat. You got a heavy hat on if you're out in the field. There we go. Let's give this guy a light blue shirt. I like light blue. And you get the light blue shirt here. Okay. I'm going to give him a hat too. I like these hats, man. Hats are cool. Make them a little light though. Little hat on that guy. This hat's a little wider. He gets a big yellow hat. Give him a blue hat. He deserves better. Got his little Nikes on. Out here working hard for the man. That guy's just gonna actually I gotta give him a darker hat because he's right in the sunshine, but don't put a darker hat on him. Got nice little hats on here. Folks are out in the field. Getting their work on. Okay, these guys aren't, I'm not worried about these guys too much. I'm going to take this black right here and go in behind them. Because they got to have a shadow, right? Take some of that dark brown here and go back in and cover that up. This guy's further toward the light, man. I gotta think that he's gonna be like, his outfit's gonna be a little lighter. behind them. And so we got the guys out here in the field doing their thing. Okay. And I'm not worried about perfection here, man. Just get this guy some nice blue britches coming down here. All right. Got his head on. Give him a nice darker arm here. Give them all a little bit of brown, because that's what color your face is when you walk outside all day. I know it's when you do outside. So just a little farm field with little guys in it, and it's pretty. I like it. So who joined me here? I just had somebody join. Okay. Timothy, how you doing? How you doing today, Timothy? It's good to see you. I'm glad you joined me. And so here we got our little painting of our guys working in the farmer's field. Kids and grown-ups all working together, maybe a family or something, I don't know. Working on their farm and wherever they live at. And so we're going to do another one today. Okay. Now, I have a whole lot of paint left on my thing here. And this is one of the ways that I clean up. May not be the right way, but it's my way. I'm just gonna, what happens with acrylic paint is whenever you get wet paint on top of the old paint, acrylic paint actually will bubble up and let go of whatever surface it's on. It's why when my paintings dry, they have to dry a very long time if I'm going to paint anything else on them. I want them really thoroughly attached to the canvas, and because they are plastic, acrylic is plastic, so it will last a nice long time. But it can be tricky to work with. Just like oil has its things that's tricky to work with, so too does acrylics. Put this one to the side. And I have more left here, so I'm going to use it too. I don't like to waste paint. I love having this background that I can paint on at a later date. This is, a lot of people call it painter's gray or something for the background. It's not painter's gray, it's leftover paint. Don't get fancy. Another thing that bugs me, what is fine art? I don't get that one. That's fine art. I can't even tell you what the heck that thing was. It's this big old beautiful painting. I mean, it looks gorgeous, but I don't know what it is. Is that fine? If it's unrecognizable, does that make it fine art? And I love abstract. I paint abstract all the time. And the whole idea for me in abstract is that I'm trying to convey a feeling or a mood, or my abstract mostly will happen when I'm tense or stressed out. So it gets a lot of lines and circles and movement and crazy stuff going on. And so it's not the coolest. In fact, it looks almost angry at times. And I'm not angry per se, but sometimes my paintings can get a little angry looking because I'm tense. I have a back scratcher here. I use it. It doesn't clean off 100%, but it sure does loosen this paint up. And this is really a very inexpensive little palette here. I don't buy expensive stuff. I'm thinking about experimenting. Maybe one day we'll get together and do it, and experiment with using palette paper where you could just throw it away at the end of the session. And that might work. Just trying to scrape the heavy stuff off of here, get it loose. And you know, then you scratch your back with it. So delicious. Put it in the water, see what the water does for it. Now, I usually keep somewhere in this large mess a sponge. There it is. And I keep it in my water simply because, and I rarely use it to paint anything with, but it's a painter sponge. But I like to use it to keep my paint wet while I'm cleaning my thing. And because I'm in the garage, I don't really care if the floor gets messed up. I'm never moving, you know, unless I win the lottery and I think you have to play it to win it. I'm not sure. Maybe that's another thing. All things can happen to you. All right, I'm identifying as a lottery winner today. Woo-hoo! You know, we say silly things, like we have any choice about the way things work. My dad had different sayings. My dad was an interesting man. Sweet and kind and loving. He'd do anything for anybody. But, you know, he didn't buy the, we grew up in the 70s. We didn't have that everybody's a winner, here's a trophy thing going on. You know what I mean? That wasn't a thing for us. Not in my house. Second place was first loser in my dad's eyes. I think it's funny. But, you know, to give him credit, it made me work harder. Who wanted to be a loser? I didn't want to be second loser. That's almost worse than first loser. No, second place is first loser. That's it. Third place, I guess, would be second loser. That's fine. It's okay to lose. Losing is how we learn to win. Mistakes are how we learn. You can't learn if you're sheltered and padded your whole life. Let's just be honest, man. Sometimes Johnny's butt needs to feel bad. Deal with it, Johnny. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. Get over it. Don't quit. Don't give up. Don't go to something else that's going to be easier for you. Just work harder, you know. You may never get there, but one thing they can never take away from you is your effort. You give your effort. You give 100% of effort. And you may not be the best, but you could get some satisfactory results. And I'll tell you what, we had a student one time that was abused, and she was an alcohol baby and had a shunt in her brain, and I'll never use her name, of course, but she was one of my favorite students of all time, and she had a really hard time with education. She just got her master's degree this year. She would go home and cry every night, and she didn't get a master's degree because she was the most brilliant child on the earth. She got a master's degree because she worked at it for about 10 years until she got that master's degree. I was so proud of her. I was so proud of her. Whenever she'd stay up to do work or homework or something, she stayed up. She'd do it. She didn't care if it took her till 4 in the morning. She was going to get that work done. And she didn't want any special things. I mean, there are kids who need special educational things. I'm a teacher. I understand the process. I know how it works. There are, compliant. There are things that we need to do, modifications we need to do to help students get the best out of what they have, right? She wouldn't take it. She wouldn't take any of the modifications. She just worked like a dog. Reading was hard for her. She was almost, she had trouble with her eyesight, but she had great supportive parents that adopted her. Sweet, beautiful people, and they, no matter what wild and crazy things she came up with, they were behind her, and because of that, she succeeds. She's a winner. Absolutely a winner. In my book, people like that are to be applauded, not because they were given a trophy so they can feel good with the rest of the children, but because they were told, keep working at it. You need to strive. You need to go for everything you're going to go for, but don't quit, don't give up, work hard. And that's what we need to do. I don't want a runner-up trophy. You know, Our school, we have it's a tiny little school, folks. I'll tell you, it's small, but we have a girls basketball team, right? And we came second in the division. But here's the problem. There were only 2 teams in our division. you know, whoa, we got a big old nice trophy, second in the division. Okay, that's not a win, people. That's not a win. But it was funny. The boys basketball team, I coached the girls, but the boys basketball team was really good, and they played in the playoffs, and they were a force to be reckoned with. Their coach Ricky did a great job with them, but they didn't get a trophy. They had all-state, all-city guys that played for them and stuff, but they came in third. There's not a third-place trophy, so there was no third-place trophy in our sports venue, but. The girls come in holding this trophy that they lost for over their heads. Yeah, we got the first trophy in school history. It was hilarious. The boys were not happy. They were not happy. But I know it's uncool. I'm very uncool. But I just thought it was hilarious. And we were first runners-up in our division of 2. And we got the trophy to prove it, man. That's hilarious. So, it's awesome. I love this world. I really do. I mean, I have a great time in life. My motto's always been, life is an adventure. And it is an adventure, man. I told you the story of my car when the lightning hit right next to it when me and my kids were out on a quote-unquote adventure. But, funny stuff, man. I'm going to try something different today. Something that I don't normally do. No, I'm not going to use that knife. I am absolutely horrific with a palette knife. I think I'm going to try to paint with a palette knife on this painting right here. I want it really chunky and blunky. And I put the darks in the corners. That's kind of how I do business. This is like, today's experimental day. I'm going to experiment with everything. This is nice dark blue sky up here. Try to build it. And I like to keep things a little lighter in the middle, even with my dark blue skies. And I even try to make this look like a sky. I mean, what's the point? It's not going to. There are amazing artists who can actually make this sky come alive. I'm just not that guy. I'm not that guy. I don't even think I want to use anything but a palette knife on this. I say that now, but I have not once kept my word when it comes to that. I always change my mind. Coverage. Now there are some really nice metal knives up there that work really well. I think I'm going to pull a little black over here, just a tiny bit of black, and a whole bunch of white. Maybe more white. And I'm going to make a gray, a light gray. Here. The grays are pretty. I like the grays. Put one right across here like that. What's you doing, Mr. Fat Guy? I don't know. Don't know what I'm doing. I've lost my mind here. But I like it. like this. I like this creativity. I want this chunky, man. I want to do a really chunky monkey of the sky here. I don't care what it looks like. Make the sky very active and stuff. I'm going to come back later with some brighter whites and just. But I want my sky to look alive. The sky is alive, or something like it. No, I'm not making the sky look perfecto. I'm going to make the sky look unperfect, like the way I see it in my head. That's kind of cool looking. But grumpy old man, that looks terrible. To you, I think it's awesome. My vision for the universe. But I will make it look good. Ba 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 ba. But I just love doing this, man. Art is so relaxing. I don't even want that square. I want that back there. Roll it over. It's amazing what you can do with a palette knife. I can't paint with it, but I sure have it. Yes, believe me, I have soul paintings, lots of them. But this may not be one of them. I don't know. You never know what's going to happen in this world. All right. Now I'm going to wipe this off. And I'm going to come up here and put a cloud in. I just got everything like really, really jacked up on my. You can do anything you want to do. Okay. I'm going to come on down here like this. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. I wonder if I can make little trees and stuff. I'll find out in a second. With some pillows. Add a little bit of blue to my yellow. Just curious. Can I make trees? Hey, look, I can make trees. That is pretty awesome. There's somebody out there going, you're doing it wrong. Don't care. Okay, my world, you're just in it, people. You're just in it. I think it's going to look pretty. It's going to be very textured, that much I know. Trees out here. That is really cool. Super cool, man. Pull some blue trees through here. You gotta give it some cool. It's too dark, too light. Don't want too much of anything. Just want to have a nice. So little trees come out here. Then I'm going to cut the bottom off. Just like this. So I have sort of a green look out here. Why not? Why not, people? You can't stop me. You can't stop me. And I'm almost going to do the same thing that I did with my sky. I'm going to drag lightly here, right along this edge. Give it sort of a broken up look. Broken paint look. Okay, now I'm going to use a method. Don't try this at home, kids. Actually, you should try all this at home. That's why we do it. I found in my life that painting upside down sometimes easier, especially so you can get your tool into whatever. Okay. Now I'm still in all these colors from the top too, trees, and as I get farther down here, I want this like quite dark actually on the bottom. You want the water to look dark. So this is kind of cool right here. I don't care who you are, Larry the Cable Guy would say. That's pretty right there. I don't care who you are. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, because nature's not perfect. In fact, the less perfect it is, the more I like it. I want this to just scream at me. Scream at me. The more jagged this is, I think the better I'm going to like it. Try not to touch things with my hand, but sometimes I still do. Sort of a nice drag thing. So let's flip this over and see how that looks. It's a miracle. I like that. I like that. That is super cool. Super cool. Palette knife world. This is like super large amount of paint. Pull on some blacks here. They don't have to be perfect. Tap down the reflection. You know, I don't think I want more than 2 boats this time. I think just 2 boats is going to be adequate for me. I'm just going to get really thick blotches down here. Yeah, I need a little more black. A little more black. This is really a very uncomplicated painting. It's just not complicated. Okay. And then I need a whole lot more white. I see a whole lot more. I don't really need a whole lot more white. This boat is just bugging me right here. I know it's abstract, but who cares? I'm going to make it red. There's a red boat there. Red boat there. Nice. Nice. Oh, man, it's so beautiful. Hey, Rich, how you doing? Good to see you. I'm glad you joined me. This is like painting number 2 for the day. It's an abstract. You joined us kind of late, but that's okay. I'm doing this with just a palette. This is my challenge. I'm only doing it with a palette knife and nothing else. So I've never painted with a palette knife before. So here, and really this is kind of a sad palette knife, but it is what it is. Okay, now I'm going to do something a little bit weird here that you guys might not understand, but it's not important because you don't have to understand. But this is all just clumps of paint going on there. It's looking pretty good, man. I'm going to move that over to the left a little bit. I need to have my assistant give me a little bit extra. I just poured water on myself. This is good because I fell today when I went on a field trip with my kids. Okay. I just wanted it really thin because if paint is thick and the paint below it's thick, it won't go over it. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. But that's okay. It doesn't have to be. And I'm just putting little reflections in the water here. All with a palette knife here. You can do it. I've painted paintings nothing but okay. And what am I doing? My dad is a sponge, you big moron. I just poured water all over myself. Don't tell anybody. Okay. If you came in late, it's no problem. I saved this to my Instagram, so you can actually follow and look and watch this on the replayed on the Instagram, or you can wait till I load it up on YouTube and watch it there. If you want to buy any of my paintings, I sell them on eBay on MITAR _ 2742. There we go. All right, that looks really pretty right there. Really, really pretty. In a couple of days, I'm going to have to go back to the paint store because I do use a lot of paint, especially if I use a palette. This is a 12 by 16. This is not a huge painting, but it looks really pretty when you get it, and you can see how wet it is because it is thick. It is thick. I could probably swim in this water for reals, and so that's cool. Yep. Another thing that I was talking about earlier that Rich, you came in kind of late, so I thought I'd show you. This is my first one that I painted. People working in the field. A couple of little really sad looking windmills made out of toothpicks or popsicle sticks in the back. But I was talking about things that people say. We say dumb things and we think these things are true. Oh, here's a classic. There are no stupid questions. Wrong! Wrong! There are a lot of stupid questions, people. I mean, multitudes of them things. You mean there's no stupid question? There's a whole lot of stupid questions. I know some stupid questions from the day. There are stupid questions. My students, you know, they tell teachers, tell your students that there are no stupid questions. And I do. I say, there's no stupid questions, kid. Just stupid kids who ask stupid questions. So, don't believe them, kids. It's a scam. Waste no paint. That's my theory. Waste no paint. You know, you're noticing this is very dark, and that's fine. Use all the dark you want. But scrape this down. Put reds and stuff in here. Reds and blues. And I'm going to put some really weird color here for my really weird friends. You know, let's use this super duper high dollar. Found this in the bottom of a barrel. Good. I'm gonna mix in some really light yellowish greenish colors here. Very simple. I'm going to come back later and do other things to this painting, but I'll have to let it dry first because if it doesn't dry, this doesn't work. I'm not making any landscapes or anything on this. I'm just going to put this paint up here like this any way I want. Right here. And I'm going to try to create an effect that sort of like an aurora borealis. And so while I won't finish this one today, I will at least get it started and get the space part of it done. I will more than likely And now once this is on here, and acrylic paint and oil paint, you can put the oil paint on there anytime in darks and different colors and stuff, and then come back with white and make it all work. This is acrylic paint. Not so much, can't so much do this. Okay. I go back over a couple times because I want it to be a little darker than it was. There we go. And I'm bringing the darker color up with it. This gives us a kind of a green. And I know it looks square to you right now, but do not worry. You're not afraid. I'm going to bring another row of it. I'm going to work this one out less, actually. Like I said, today's experiment day. I'm just going to keep experimenting. Okay, so I got that all on there. I don't want to get too much more of that. I'm going to get this brush in my dirty water that hasn't been washed in 3 days. Because, hey, I can bring this moth out here. Hey, Vargas. Good to see you. Good to see you. You came in late, but that's okay. Good to have you here anyway. I'll be back on tomorrow, probably 2 or 3 times a day tomorrow because I'm off my regular teaching job, so I will be here and painting with a grumpy old man. Now I'm spinning my brush around because I'm going to actually, these lines that you saw are going to more go away than be there. But some of them I'll keep a little bit lighter. I like to have the blues and the darks quite dark actually. And this is sort of a weird spacey looking thing here. And I don't do this very heavy, I do it nice and light. You can put yellows in here. I like yellows, greens, different colors. Okay. Now this is just the background. I mean, this is not the painting. But I'm going to come back and push a little harder in some places to give it streaks. You come right here and I push it harder. That leaves these guys right here. Alright, sort of the lights in the sky. And then I come and do, back to the most famous brush of all. Let's get this out and tap it out. I don't want it too much. And I don't care, man. Here, you fling your paint right here. I'm going to put stars in my sky. Lots and lots of stars. The more stars, the better. The longer you tap on one spot, the denser your stars will be. But you know what? I'm going to water down this white just a little bit more. Get the tap out some of here first. The first ones you tap out are off your brush, and you can end up with a mess. Okay, basically that's where I'm going to be starting tomorrow. I plan to do 2 or 3 more. Like I said, go on eBay. You can follow me on Grumpy Old Man Art if you're not already following me. And man, we'll have some fun. But let's cover what we did today. This is going to be our next one. I'm going to make it an abstract, but I wanted to paint in the background, and I'm going to show you how I do my abstracts, my doodleisms. But I wanted the background first, and this is a really cool background because you can do a lot of things with it. And I will show you tomorrow when I come back on. So let's look at, for just a second, let's look at the other 2 paintings we did today. First we got this one. Our fellows working in the field, there. Little farmer's field. And then we did one with nothing but a palette knife. Now I am a I am an Impressionist artist, and I paint things from around where I live, which is Georgia, and we have all kinds of gorgeous stuff in Georgia. This is all a palette knife. I wasn't trying to make it look perfect. I just thought it was pretty and wanted to make it look pretty for you guys. It's really wet. It's going to be 3 days before this sucker dries up. I got so much paint on it. But we had a great time today. I'm going to be back tomorrow, probably earlier in the day. So if you're up, not mowing the lawn, my wife's not making me mow the lawn, then we can get together and paint some more. You can spend some more time painting with a grumpy old man. I had a blast today. Oh my goodness, what a fun time I had today, all day long. If you have any questions for me, remember there are stupid questions. No, I'm just kidding. You can ask me anything you guys want to. But if you have any questions for me, you feel free to talk to me. I can read somewhat. Addison, I'm going to try to remember to bring my laptop back to school so that we can actually have Spanish class. Sorry about that, guys. Apologize to my students. But, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been so much fun, and I've really enjoyed my time that I spent with you guys. Please, please, please come back, Rich and Vargas and Addison and Christopher and Tomsky Arts. You guys come back and see me anytime. I'm going to be here quite a bit painting with a grumpy old man for fun. I do sell on the eBay and Poshmark. If you want to go to Mike Tarver at Poshmark, you can find my paintings there. Really nice. The really, really nice paintings are on Poshmark that I spend hours and hours on. The ones on eBay are the ones you're seeing me paint here, so you actually have a little provenance. You're part of this process of doing the painting with me, and so buying those gives a little bit of extra things. Always comes with a letter of authenticity, and you can find it on mitar_2742. That's MITAR_2742. That's my website on eBay. And it's a 99-cent auction. Some of them start a little bit higher. Some of them start a little bit lower. None of them start expensive at all. So everybody here can afford to go in and pay $2.99 or 99 cents. So go in there and fight for it. Get you one. I do have to charge you shipping and handling because it costs a lot of money to ship things. I think my last package went out and it was like $40 just for the shipping alone. It cost me more to ship it than it cost me to make it. And that was 5 different paintings going out. So, love you guys. Peace. I want you to stay healthy. I want you to stay happy. And most of all, stay off my lawn.